satellite is a smaller mass body which is orbiting continuously around a body of much larger mass. Moon is natural satellite of Earth. Earth is natural satellite of Sun. Jupiter has around 79 satellites, natural satellites. When we talk about satellites, we have primarily two kinds of satellites. One is natural satellites, the other is artificial satellites. When we say Moon, Moon is a natural satellite of Earth. We have artificial satellites. Artificial satellites, they are used to study the atmosphere of Earth. They are used for communication like telecommunication or for TV and radio signals. And they are used for spying also. These satellites, artificial satellites, what we talk about, they are on two planes they are generally orbiting. One is in the equatorial plane, that is above the equator, and the other is a plane which is perpendicular to this equatorial plane passing to the north-south pole. So if we say, if this is Earth, we say this is Earth, this is orbiting like this, so this makes equatorial plane. So one is the satellites, they may be orbiting like this, along the equator they may be orbiting. The second is this way. When we talk about the satellites which are moving this equatorial plane, they could be geostationary satellites or they could be satellites which are very close to the surface of Earth, let's say 200 kilometers or so. When we talk about the geostationary satellites, these satellites, they orbit around Earth in equatorial plane at a height of around 36,000 kilometers. They appear to be stationary with respect to Earth. Their angular velocity is same as the angular velocity of Earth about its own axis. That is, they complete one revolution about this axis of Earth. Let's say if this is Earth and this is the axis, we say this is North Pole, this is South Pole, this is rotating like this, and a geostationary satellite is, let's say this is the equatorial plane, and geostationary satellite is over here, so this is also orbiting in this equatorial plane only. With respect to Earth, it remains stationary. The angular velocity of this satellite and angular velocity of Earth about this axis is same. So this geostationary satellite, it knows very well, through this we can know very well what is happening in the country below it, but we cannot know what is happening on the other side of the globe. For that, polar satellites, they are launched. And these polar satellites, they are moving in a plane perpendicular to this equatorial plane. This plane is perpendicular to this and passing through the north-south axis. When we talk about the geostationary satellite, it is stationary with respect to Earth. It has same angular velocity that of Earth. So if it is over a country and it is stationary with respect to that, so it is always over that country. So this satellite, it can be used to see whatsoever is happening in this country or in this area or in this zone, but this cannot be used to find what is happening on the other part of the globe. For that, satellites orbiting at a lower altitudes at 200 kilometers or so, that can be used because they make multiple rounds around Earth. They take around 84.6 minutes to complete one revolution. So in one day, they make multiple rounds around Earth. But still, they are just moving along the equator only. So whatsoever is happening along the polar regions or so, we cannot find out. To scan or to spy whatsoever is happening across the whole globe, polar satellites, they are used. If we say this is Earth, this is axis, so this is omega is there, this is North Pole, this is South Pole, and this is equator. We are talking about this equator. So geostationary satellite is at a height of 36,000 kilometers, and the other satellites, they may be around say 200 kilometers or so. But when we talk about the polar satellites, they are orbiting in a plane which is perpendicular to this equatorial plane. So Earth is moving like this and polar satellite is moving like this. So it is right now it is moving like this. After some time Earth moves like this, it is still moving like this. So as a result, the whole Earth's surface is scanned, and through this we can find out whatsoever is happening in which part of the country it is happening. So this is like an eye in the sky through which the whole Earth can be scanned